working on the forex market, traders start to guess the price change. There are a great many strategies and methods of forecasting price dynamic. However, technical analysis is the most popular one. It's widely known that people of Japan invented technical analysis. Representation of the price changes in the form of Japanese candlesticks is an obvious proof of that. In spring 2003, a trader from Sweden, Dan Valcu, decided to reveal to the mass the Heikin-Ashi technique he learned about in Japan. Currently, this is one of the most popular instruments of technical analysis. The trader who introduced this system to the world gladly accepted the invitation of InstaForex to take part in a conference in St. Petersburg and answered our questions.
As far as I know, Heikin-Ashi technique, as a true Japanese, stays calm when other technical indicators panic and recommend opening positions. Does Heikin-Ashi take time to hedge traders from hasty decisions?
Yes, of course. Heikin-Ashi has two big advantages. Number one, it's a price filtering technique. Okay, so it shows you the trend better than without it. And the second aspect is that it gives you, in certain cases, good warnings about what is going to happen. Okay, so what we are talking here about the visual aspect of Heikin-Ashi. The first one that I mentioned, the trend, and the second one is the quantification of Heikin-Ashi, which gives you warnings about what is going to happen. And of course, the signals are not perfect, far from perfect. But yes, Heikin-Ashi is another level of confidence that you add to your portfolio of techniques, of indicators, of strategies, of whatever. Okay, so I recommend, not because I am in this business, but Heikin-Ashi brings you more confidence. You want to trade with more confidence. Of course, if you add 10 indicators on Heikin-Ashi, you'll have a complete mess in your mind, and it's not good. So you have to be very selective. I highly recommend to use Heikin-Ashi. First, you can have some paper trading, no problems, and see what it can offer.
Has it ever failed, and what is its profit-loss ratio?
Okay, number one, the first question about failure. Everything fails in life, everything. So there is no perfection. If somebody is looking for perfection, especially in trading, especially in Forex, I think they will not find it and they will lose money, okay? So of course, Heikin-Ashi is failing, no problems. But you know, the only protection against failure is called a stop loss or a stop. You have to have your risk and money management with you. Right. Number two, the second one was about profit and risk reward. Let's call it risk reward. In order to establish the risk reward, you have to do a back test, and you have to do a back test on several instruments, several pairs, and you have to do a back test on several pairs and multiple time frames. And only at that stage you can say, oh, this is better, this is worse, and so on and so forth. But don't forget one thing, the pairs, they change personality. Maybe this week it's a trend, but then they change dramatically the behavior because of some fundamental issues, okay? So, to answer directly to your question, I wouldn't say that, oh, the risk reward is this and this. No. What you have to do, you have to establish which currency pair you want, what is your time frame, and you can do, if you are a technician, so to speak, or if you have some tools like backtesting software, you can backtest and see what is good and what is bad. But the question is too general, so I would like everybody to go into their particular case. Time frame, currency pair, and backtesting.
So traders who prefer scalping tend to avoid the Heikin-Ashi. Should they do this, and what is the most suitable time frame for this technique?
Yeah. Okay, scalpers. Yeah, scalpers. If you scalp, you face lots of noise. Yeah, but this is not a big issue. Heikin-Ashi works in all time frames from 1 minute to 1 year. This is not an issue. As long as you have open, high, low, and close, Heikin-Ashi will convert these values into Heikin-Ashi values and will display the candles. We have seen during the presentation that M1 1 minute works very, very well. No problems. So scalpers, what can they do? They have to try first. Yes, you have to try. You have to try a food first. Yes, you don't subscribe to a food service for life. You have to try food once or twice or 3 times to see if it goes with you, right? What was the second? I'm sorry. What was the second?
About the most suitable time frame.
Oh, the time frame. This is a very popular question, and it's, you know, time frames are very subjective. Why? Because it depends on everybody. Some people love the daily, some people love the 1 minute, the scalpers, some people love the 4 hours time frame. It's up to them. All right? What I noticed, I mean, based on personal observation, is the 4 hours, and especially in the British pound and the dollar, is working very well with Heikin-Ashi. But I would start from M1 and I would go to weekly, yeah, and you'll see that it works very well. Why? Because the forex pairs in general, they have trends. Yeah, the pairs, they have trends. So once you have trends, by definition, they are trendy markets. Once you have a trend, Heikin-Ashi goes very well with it.
So, and what currency pair better for using Heikin-Ashi?
Yeah, this is another subjective answer, right? I mean, personally, I love the British pound with the US dollar, but I love it for many reasons, yeah, fundamental and sentimental, so to speak, because I spent some time in England, right? But this is not, other people love the Euro USD, which is very popular. But in general, if it is liquid, it has trends, in general, right? Which instrument you choose, it's a personal choice. It's like a car. When you buy a car, yeah, maybe the neighbor bought or the friend, they bought this car, you buy the same car, but probably you want to buy another car. Right? So it's, yeah, it depends on you.
This is the first time you speak before Russian audience. Have you noticed any differences in way of thinking of Russians? And if you have, we'd like to hear your advice on forex trading.
Yeah, in fact, this was the first time I spoke in front of the Russian audience, and I was very pleased, as I told the organizers before when they invited me, and they said I am very happy to speak in front of bright minds, because I know that the education is very solid in Russia, and the engineering or the scientific aspect of it is also very strong. So I was very happy. During the presentation, we had a very dynamic audience, and they asked lots of questions, which was absolutely great. I hope I convinced them, because this is how I perceive the presentations. They should be two-way, not one-way. Now, what I mean, even if I suggest, nothing will be changed. The English knowledge is not as good as it should be. All right. I mean, the traders, they don't have the English as strong as their trading skills. All right. So maybe they should improve a little bit on the English side, because what they do, they miss a lot of things from the international knowledge database. All right. And this is not good for the development, right? Maybe when people went to the university, they had Russian books, right? Maybe, but they were translated into Russian. Yeah, I don't know exactly how many books about trading you have translated into Russian, but for instance, Heikin-Ashi, nothing is translated, so you missed something here. But yes, the Russians were great. Their minds were great, and we saw it during the presentation. I was very pleased. I hope they also have been very pleased. I would be delighted to come another time in another context. But yes, they are great. So yes, they are absolutely normal. They have the same, they go through the same pain, they go through the same gain like anybody else. All right.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Thank you.